Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm Kathy. So I wanted to do a video on our mediums, psychics, palm readers, tarot cards, Ouija boards. Are they okay? So the short answer is absolutely not, but let me get into my experience and what the Bible says and what is actually going on, because it's very scary and it's evil, demonic, all of those things. So what happened with me, I can think back to my first experience with, let's just say, a Ouija board. My friend and I think we were in junior high, so we would have been around 13, and she had the Ouija board at her house. And this particular day I was babysitting for my aunt at her house, watching my cousin. I'm not sure if it was one or two cousins then, and it was probably the weekend. And so my friend and I, we would always talk on the phone. She was my best friend. And so when I'm babysitting, the kid or kids are doing whatever they're doing, and I'd call my friend or she'd call me, and we'd, just be talking like 13-year-old girls do. And so she had the Ouija board, and we decided to ask it questions about, we were in two separate areas, probably 5 miles apart. And we'd played with it before, I think, me being at her house, if I remember right. And so, we just thought, let's see what this can do. And we had no idea, that there's demons involved, there's evil entities, there's all of that. We just thought, you're maybe talking to a ghost or a spirit or something, benign, something not harmful or not wicked or something, which I'm sure a lot of kids and adults think that today. So we were asking it questions, and we wanted to see, exactly what we could find out. So she had it at her house. I'm at my aunt's house. And I think we asked it a few questions that were just basic. It's like, well, that's easy. And I said, well, ask it. I can't remember if I said what color shirt I'm wearing. Because obviously I wasn't around my friend. And if anyone knows how a Ouija board works, you have the board with, the alphabet on it, all the letters, and then numbers. And I think yes and no and goodbye, if I remember right, which unfortunately I do. And so she would be spelling out, you have your little thing that you put your hands on, and then the spirit, the ghost, the demon guides your hands to spell out words. And trust me, I am not encouraging anyone to get one of these. If you have one, you need to take it and break it in half and throw it away. So we asked it, what color shirt do I have on? And it wasn't, just like a basic, black or white or whatever. And it said the color. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I'm thinking, okay, there's a spirit right here in the house with me. And I was by myself babysitting. Like I said, I was probably 13 years old. And so that was pretty freaky. And I know we asked it more questions. Like I might have even asked or had her ask, what color underwear do I have on? Because that would mean that the spirit or the ghost watched me get dressed in the morning. And so they said their answer, whatever it was. And I looked just to make sure. I peeked down my pants and yep, they were right. And it wasn't just like black or white or just some easy, color that you can guess and maybe be right about. So that was extremely freaky and scary. But we didn't stop. And so we learned how to make our own Ouija board, like when we were at school. And I won't go into the details of that, but we would do that in front of our classmates. And yeah, that was just, oh my gosh. Now looking back, I mean, we had no idea what we were toying with, what we were playing around with. And this is how people become possessed by demons and evil entities. And they've shown this, maybe a person ends up being possessed and then goes and unalives a whole bunch of people. And then they say, well, I was playing with a Ouija board beforehand, or with tarot cards, or I went and saw a medium, or I saw a palm reader, and just all these things. They're all bad and evil and dealing with spirits on the other side that, yeah, there's no good, nothing good. So let me read some Bible verses. Okay. So, and these 3 of them are in Leviticus. 1 is in Deuteronomy. So this is back at the beginning of the Bible. And, God is making it very clear. Do not deal with people who delve into these things. Okay. So Leviticus 19:31. Okay. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. So a familiar spirit is who mediums talk to. And familiar means it might be a friend or a familiar acquaintance or a family member that has passed. So the Bible says this in, I think, all of the verses that I read. So when you hear that familiar spirit, that's someone that you would know. Like, let's just say my grandma. And I go talk to I go talk to a medium, I guess. Yeah, so, and they start saying, they start talking to a demon. But they'll, of course, say, oh, it's a friendly ghost. It's your grandma. It's your grandma's spirit. It's, she says she misses you and loves you. And yeah, that's a whole other thing to get into with, how they actually work. They find out, it's really easy to be, oh gosh, that would be a whole other topic with how to delve into. Because one time I got a pack of tarot cards as a gift, and I was on the fence about, this is back before I was a Christian, but something told me, my gut told me that no, these aren't something you want to deal with. So I was just reading how you actually do them. And it says you just, let's say you're talking to your friend and you know stuff about your friend. So you're going to say, their parent died, maybe last year, or they just got a medical diagnosis. So you work those things into whatever cards are popping up. Or they want to get a cat, and so you can work that in. So it says, or you just, if it's a stranger and you go to a stranger and have your tarot cards read, they can make up something easy, like, okay, a male figure of yours who passed away a long time ago says they really love you and miss you. And then you think, oh my gosh, my dad. And then once you say that, they're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go with that. Yeah, he says he always loved you. He never told you enough. It's so easy. They just lie. And if there is anything specific, it's because they're talking to a demon on the other side that knows that, you know, the evil spirits and Satan and all his minions have been around since the very beginning. So they know everything we've gone through. And I've talked about this in other videos that are on the playlist of satanic attacks and spiritual warfare. So definitely check that out. I'll list it down below. But yeah, so they know everything that's happened. They know your grandma used to make the best zucchini bread. And so all they have to do is the demon will say that to the medium. And you're just like, oh my gosh, they're actually talking to my grandma. No, they're talking to a demon that maybe even heard you tell your friend the other day, oh my gosh, I miss my grandma's zucchini bread. So just keep all that stuff in mind. Okay, so that's the definition of familiar spirits. Someone you're familiar with, that you know, that, like I said, a family member, a friend, a close acquaintance. Okay, so that was Leviticus 19:31. Next is Leviticus 26. So that is, and the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits and after wizards to go a whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul and will cut him off from among his people. Okay. So wizards obviously do wizardry, magic, all those things. So yes, any of those things that I mentioned, stay away from, run the other way. Tarot cards, Ouija boards, palm readers, mediums. Okay, so the next one is Leviticus 20:27. Okay, so that is, a man also or woman that hath a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. They shall stone them with stones, their blood shall be upon them. So this is what they used to do. This is back thousands of years ago when this was written. And yeah, they were commanded to people who talked to demons, talked to spirits, and did wizardry. They were to be put to death by stoning. So, I mean, if they did that nowadays, do you know how many people would be stoned? Oh my gosh, because it's so popular. It's everywhere you go. Most towns, you just drive around and you see a sign on a storefront, psychic, palm reader, get your palm read, tarot cards, tarot reader. Oh my gosh, or crystals, any of those, they're all bad. Okay, so the fourth one is Deuteronomy chapter 18, 10 to 12. Okay. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. And necromancer definition is one who practices magic or sorcery. And then verse 12, for all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord, and because of these abominations the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. Okay, so yeah, God, no, it's not allowed, it's not encouraged, it's not anything. So he says over and over, stay away from these. And it says, you know, if anyone does this, punishment, they need to be stoned to death. So yeah, it's pretty clear that God says, no, we are not to delve into talking with spirits. And like I said, if someone says, oh, your mom just died, let's see if we can reach her. I know we can. And then they'll, you know, do all their stuff, and then they'll say things. And like I said, it's because there's demons talking to this person. Whether it's the medium, the tarot card reader, the wizard, the witch, whatever you want to say. Yeah. And they might be possessed by a demon or several demons, which is probably pretty likely. And the demons probably have them do certain things. So yes, keep all that in mind. If you run across anything, pray for protection over yourself, your family, your house. And yeah, maybe you walk into a store and they have a whole display of tarot cards. You know, just think about, okay, why are we here? What are we getting? Or do you even need to be in there? Then I would leave as soon as possible and pray again to clear anything, any evil spirits that might be wanting to attach to you or any of that. And I try to post, I've shared a few videos on my community wall with other people that I watch that talk a lot about this. Taylor is one of them, Tailah. I think Scroggins is her last name. And then this guy, Isaiah Saldivar, I think is his name. And they both have pretty big channels, but they really talk a lot about witchcraft, wizardry, tarot cards, new age stuff, all the things like crystals and this, that, and the other thing. So definitely check them out if you want more information. And check out those Bible verses and you can read up on it. So yeah, so it's definitely not okay to be delving into any of those. Yeah, so stay away. Let me know down below if you have had any weird experiences with any of that. Like I have a friend, when we lived in Australia, she was really into going and seeing a psychic. And this is a really good friend of mine. I don't know if she's a Christian. I'm not sure. Some things she would say, but then there's people who, you know, they might be a Christian, but still, oh, I want to go see a psychic and talk to my so-and-so who just died. You know, some people just don't understand and they are still blind to that. But yeah, my friend, and I would try to tell her, you know, that's not good. You're opening up, you know, a pathway for a demon, for an evil entity, for any of that to come in to you. And she would just love going, and she'd always say, oh my gosh, this person is so good. They are the best psychic ever. It's like, well, they're talking to demons, and the demon they're talking to is just answering all their questions about you and your life. So that might be your demon that's followed you around since birth. Oh my gosh. But yes, so pray for protection. I'm praying for everyone. And let me know what you guys think down below. Please share if you think anyone might enjoy this. Subscribe if you aren't already. Give it a like. That helps out the channel and helps the content to be shared with other people who might enjoy it. And this channel's all for Jesus, so it's for him. All right, well, thank you everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Hope you're having a great day, and God bless.